With 3 weeks remaining in the 2025 NFL regular season, the early shape of the 2026 NFL Draft is becoming clearer. While the final standings will not be locked in until January, the top of the draft board is already beginning to stabilize. Struggling teams are separating from the middle of the pack. That separation is crucial for draft positioning. Once the regular season concludes, the top 18 picks will be officially determined by record. However, projections allow analysts to look further ahead. Advanced models provide insight into potential outcomes. These projections help teams prepare early. They also fuel league-wide discussion. ESPN's Football Power Index plays a central role. It simulates the remainder of the season repeatedly. Those simulations account for team strength and location. They also factor in historical performance trends. The result is a probabilistic draft order. Not a certainty, but a strong forecast. At this stage of the season, the margin between the worst records is slim. One win or loss can dramatically change draft position. That volatility defines the final weeks. For rebuilding franchises, every result matters. Draft leverage is at stake. The current projections place familiar names at the top. Several franchises are facing pivotal off-seasons. Quarterback decisions loom large. Front office pressure continues to mount. The draft order will shape the league's future. And the countdown has officially begun. How ESPN's FPI builds the draft order. ESPN's Football Power Index is a predictive model. It evaluates teams based on performance and efficiency. Roster strength and recent form are key inputs. Home field advantage also carries weight. The model updates weekly. Its projections evolve constantly. Each week, the FPI simulates the remaining season 10,000 times. Those simulations generate thousands of possible outcomes. Win probabilities are recalculated every iteration. Game location plays a critical role. So does opponent quality. The data is extensive. Draft order is determined by projected records. Teams with worse records receive higher selections. Ties are broken using strength of schedule. Average draft position across simulations is calculated. That average smooths out outliers. The result is a projected full first round. Unlike mock drafts, these projections are not based on opinion. They rely on probability and modeling. No individual matchup determines the outcome. Instead, trends drive the forecast. That makes the results compelling. While not definitive, the FPI projections provide valuable insight. Teams use similar tools internally. Fans use them to track rebuilding progress. Media uses them to frame narratives. The draft conversation intensifies as a result. Raiders projected to hold the number 1 pick. According to the latest projections, the Las Vegas Raiders sit atop the draft order. They are currently projected to select first overall. Inconsistent play has defined their season. Losses have piled up. The model reflects that reality. Holding the number 1 pick carries enormous power. It allows a team to select any prospect. Quarterback options dominate the conversation. Trade-down possibilities also emerge. Every team calls the first pick. Leverage is unmatched. The Raiders' projection is not locked. A late-season win could change everything. Other struggling teams remain close behind. The gap is narrow at the bottom. But as of now, Las Vegas controls the board. Front office decisions loom large. Roster construction remains in question. Long-term direction is under scrutiny. The first pick could reset the franchise or accelerate a rebuild dramatically. The stakes could not be higher. As Week 16 approaches, every Raiders game matters beyond the standings. Draft positioning is now central to evaluation. The projection reflects current trajectory, but the final outcome remains fluid. Nothing is guaranteed yet. Browns and Titans round out the top 3. Behind the Raiders, the Cleveland Browns project near the top. They are currently forecast to hold a top 3 pick. Injuries and inconsistency have derailed their season. The model accounts for that decline. Results reflect it clearly. The Tennessee Titans also appear prominently. They are projected to select early in the draft. Offensive struggles have been persistent. Close losses have defined their campaign. Those narrow defeats still count, and they impact draft order. Both franchises face major questions. Quarterback evaluation remains unresolved. Roster depth is a concern. Cap management adds complexity. High draft picks offer solutions, but also bring pressure. The top 3 picks often reshape the league. Recent history supports that trend. Elite prospects emerge at those spots. Misses can set teams back years. Success accelerates contention. The importance cannot be overstated. As projections stand today, Raiders, Browns, and Titans lead the board, but all three remain within striking distance of each other. Late-season variance still applies. The order may shuffle, but the tier appears stable. Beyond the top three, the race for the top five intensifies. Several teams cluster closely together. One upset win can shift multiple positions. The volatility is extreme. Projections remain sensitive. Teams currently projected in the top five are effectively locked into rebuilding discussions. Playoff hopes have faded. Attention has shifted to roster evaluation. Young players are being assessed. Future planning dominates decision-making. The FPI identifies which teams are likely to remain there. Consistency in losing unfortunately matters. Late-season wins can be costly. That paradox defines rebuilding years. Front offices walk a fine line. Development versus draft capital. Being locked into the top five ensures access to elite prospects. It also invites scrutiny. Fan expectations rise immediately. Patience wears thin. Every pick becomes magnified. As Week 16 approaches, the top five picture is clearer than most seasons. Movement remains possible, but separation is emerging. The draft order is beginning to crystallize, and franchises are preparing accordingly. Teams with multiple first-round picks. Some franchises hold additional draft capital. Multiple first-round picks create flexibility. They allow aggressive rebuilding or strategic trade opportunities. The FPI projections highlight where those picks may land. That information is critical. Teams with 2 first-rounders often benefit from prior trades. Those deals now come into focus. Pick placement determines value. Earlier selections amplify impact. Later ones reduce leverage. The projected order shows variance. One pick may fall in the top 10. The other could land in the 20s. That spread affects strategy. Front offices plan for both scenarios. Contingencies are essential. Multiple picks also create movement. Teams may trade up or down. Package deals become attractive. Quarterback hunts intensify. Roster holes can be addressed quickly. The board opens up as the season closes. These projections guide preparation. They are not binding, but they frame expectations. The draft chessboard is forming, and every piece matters. Teams near the middle of the board. Not every team fits cleanly into tiers. Several franchises project near the middle. They hover between playoff contention and rebuilding. Those teams face the toughest decisions. Direction is unclear. Draft position reflects that uncertainty. Mid-round picks are less predictable. Elite prospects are usually gone, but value still exists. Scouting becomes crucial. Developmental players emerge. Risk tolerance increases. The FPI places these teams within narrow ranges. One win can move them 5 spots. One loss can do the same. The final weeks matter greatly. Late-season motivation varies. That adds complexity. For these teams, draft order alone will not define success. Execution on draft day matters more. Trading becomes an option. Board discipline is essential. Mistakes are costly. As Week 16 unfolds, these franchises remain in flux. Their projections fluctuate weekly. Nothing is settled yet. They sit in the league's gray area, the hardest place to operate. The impact of strength of schedule. Draft order is not determined solely by record. Strength of schedule plays a role. Teams with identical records are separated by difficulty faced. That metric often surprises fans, but it matters greatly. The FPI accounts for it. A softer schedule can hurt draft position. A tougher slate can help it. Close games against strong opponents matter. Blowout losses also factor in. Every matchup contributes data. Nothing is ignored. This nuance complicates projections. 2 teams may appear equal, but schedule strength creates separation. The difference can be several draft spots. Front offices track this closely. It affects trade value. As the season winds down, strength of schedule becomes fixed. Remaining games finalize that metric. Late opponents matter immensely. The model reflects those realities. Projections sharpen accordingly. Understanding this component explains why some teams project higher than expected, or lower despite similar records. The math is unforgiving, and it shapes the final board. Every game leaves a mark.